Network Nation, your console Ron G, coming to you today with a very, very distinct message. I want to talk uniquely to my 30 and over audience. The top three mistakes my 30 and over audience can no longer afford to make. That's right, the top three mistakes my 30 and over audience can no longer afford to make. Let's start with mistake number one. Stop putting too much stock in company insurance. Okay? All right? Stop putting too much stock in company insurance. 30 and over, you have arrived. You are most likely making very solid income. And so when you think about solid income of the 30 and over audience, 30, 35, you're now hitting your stride. And what you're finding out is that you're accumulating a lot of things that are very valuable to you. Things like children, things like housing, things like vehicles, things like maybe their savings for your children who are probably very, very young right now. And what's happening is that you're realizing that you, not other people, you bring a very rock solid value into your home. And so what you have to do, whether you want to do it or not, is you have to think about what things look like if for any period of time you were not able to be yourself, being productive. And so when you think about the type of coverage you need, that $20,000 plan that you have at the job is just not going to cut it. You see, your insurance has to cover the value of what you're insuring. So let's play the game with car. When you buy a brand new car, you know that you have to have full coverage insurance. Why? Because if for whatever reason that car has a accident, and unfortunately we hate accidents, we don't like to talk about them, but if those cars have an accident, the insurance that you have to call Geico or State Farm or whatever, Liberty, whoever you call, has to have the type of financial resources to cover the value of that vehicle. Now, of course, if it's a 2009 or 2007, the value of that vehicle is going to be different than if you're driving a 2020 Ford Explorer. And so the insurance has to be appropriate with the Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer is a newer vehicle and it has more cost and more value. So your insurance is going to be more than it would be for a 2007 Nissan. So what am I saying? I'm saying the 30 and plus, 30 and over crowd, you are more valuable to your families, which means that your insurance has to be strong enough to help assist and offset if there's anything going on with you whatsoever, right? So what does that look like? That means stop relying on company plans and start relying on your own financial consultants, your own people, your own identity of insurance products and plans. And you have to start looking at products that can offset your loss of income or your spouse's loss of income. It could be anyone. And anything that's going to disrupt the structure of what's going on in the family household. Okay? All right? That's number two. That's number three. Number two, you have to stop relying too heavily on the retirement vehicles offered to you by your companies. You have to stop relying too heavily on those retirement vehicles. Why? Because I know what they are. They're either an IRA or 401k. And those vehicles, while they are better than nothing and they're better than banks, they are not the kind of vehicles that are going to deliver what you needed to deliver in 25 years. And the reason is because they rely too much on the unpredictable versus the predictable, right? They rely too much on the unpredictable. So let's get the fancy stuff out of the way. What's the unpredictable? The unpredictable is the stock market. We don't know if the stock market's going to be up. We don't know if the stock market's going to be down. We don't know where it's going to be. So why would I invest primarily in a product that relies heavily on a market that's up and down, up and down, up and down? And we don't know when you're coming out of the game, your retirement game. I don't know what 25 years in the future is going to look like. Don't know. So why would I play around with something that's that unpredictable? Unpredictability number 2, taxes. Taxes are very unpredictable. But there's one thing I can assure you that seems to be predictable with them. They do continue to seem to go up. And so that's another thing that comes out of the woodwork is the taxes. So what am I saying? Am I saying, don't look at company plans? No, I would never say don't look at them. What I'm saying is just like with these plans, don't rely heavily on them because there's a lot of openings for something to go wrong. If the tax world turns upside down, that's bad for you in retirement. If the stock market is bad when you get 60 and you're ready to come out, that's bad for you, right? These products rely too heavily on the fact that they lean on stocks and taxes affect them. And also, they do not have a lasting effect, meaning that they don't last for the entire time of your retirement unless you're one of those people that decide you're going to die early. And if that's the case, then oh well. Now we may be looking at more of these types of products, insurance products, that you can leave your family debt free. But if you plan on being around for 10, 15, 20 years and enjoying your retirement, then these products definitely have flaws. The flaws are they're not built per se to last you for 20 years. Why do I say that? Because we all know that the 401k and IRAs, when you look at them and you start to pull them out, there's going to be some numbers that may not look the way you wanted them to because of the market. And the third and final one, the last one I want to talk about, you cannot rely heavily on one source of information. You have to keep checking. So if you're getting all of your information from your corporation, you have to go outside of the corporation for checks and balances. Too much relying on information from your company. And yeah, I get it, 30, 35, relatively young, may not know a lot of things, but one thing you know for sure is checks and balances. And when you have the balances, what are the checks and balances? Solid tax person, right? Solid financial consultants, right? And you don't have one, you have a couple of those guys, because if you have people from the consulting world and all they talk about are stock products, then you're really right back to square one. So you need somebody that has well-rounded, that talks in a variety of products, not just stocks, but annuities, insurance products. You want to talk to somebody that's well-rounded, because if you only talk to somebody coming from one perspective, then unfortunately, that's it. All those eggs are in one basket. I hope this helped with the top 3 things that my 30 and over crowd definitely wants to focus on. Ron G, Network Nation. Hey guys, I'm here. Let's talk. You know what to do. Subscribe, like, click, send it out. Peace, I'm out of here.
I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change.